Welcome to the Money Hour with host Tina Mitchell and co-host Keelan Harvey. Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, and Keelan Harvey, MLO 1330075, are licensed loan originators with Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited, NMLS 134871. The views expressed by the speakers on the following program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited, nor are they necessarily endorsed by Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited. Now, in the studio, local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome to the Money Hour at 11:50 a.m. KKNW, the Friday, May 15th virtual show. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
Your local mortgage experts. Because of the COVID-19 show has temporarily moved virtually, but you can listen to us on podcast and catch us on air on 11:50 a.m. KKNW Saturday at 3 p.m. with a rebroadcast on Sunday at 8 p.m. Bringing in expert advice and inside knowledge in today's events and our local economy and how it will affect your money. If you're listening to our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but we're here to answer any questions, or more importantly, to connect you with the guests that we have on the show today. You can call the show at 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And our lineup for today's show, we have Danielle Lafleur of Easy as Pie Design, maximizing your website and marketing dollars. Next guest in studio, we have Tony Subhan of Ultimate Wealth Strategies, LLC, a financial plan for times like this. And our last guest in studio, Lori Lamarix of Seamless Moves, virtual moving. Is that a thing? So all of our guests have been in studio before. Very excited to have them back. Great information and great guests on the show today. Again, for more information, you can call 1-855-400-1150 or go online at themoneyhour.com. And Keelan, do you think we should start out the show today with a little money chat?
I'd love me some money chat. Let's do that.
Money.
I like Keelan. Tony looks like he's over there laughing. He's having a good old time.
Gotta have fun.
Anyways, Keelan, what do you got today? You gotta have fun.
You gotta have fun. Well, I'm gonna mix a little bit of work and a little bit of personal. So I'm sure you get it all the time too, Tina. But one of the main questions that I get asked all the time, and at least on a financial standpoint, since especially this COVID-19 thing, is now the right time to buy a home? And, we never step on our agent side, but on the finance side, I'm buying a home right now. So the answer to that is yes. So, I looked at it just like anybody else. I was hoping that, the slowdown in the market or so what appears. It's kind of crazy though, because we're still getting multiple offers and things are, but they've slowed down a little bit from super crazy to crazy. And the main part of that influenced me was interest rates. So where interest rates are as low as they are, I can buy a lot more house than I could previously. And so I was hoping that the slowdown in the market a little bit would help, but it's really 100% the interest rate. We're in a low 3% interest rate. We actually took a tick up this last week, so I could probably lean into the 3.5s. Now, that's not everybody's interest rate. That's just kind of generally speaking, hopefully where you should be with perfect everything scenario. But so if I was to wait, my thought process is I feel like with all the tech in Seattle and everything, I feel like it would, we're going to bounce back. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not, a psychic, but I think we could bounce out of this. And regardless, historically, these are the lowest rates I've ever seen in my lifetime. Maybe the lowest rates any of us will ever see in a lifetime. And if they go lower, then it's probably World War III and we won't care about our homes at all at that point. So who knows? But the point is, at a low 3% interest rate, I could afford about $70,000, $80,000 more of a home because of that rate. If I was to wait and this thing happened and rates go up, and they could go up very quickly, if they did go up, then I would be looking at maybe probably closer to $400 more a month in payments. So regardless, take everything out of the picture. We don't have crystal balls, the economy, anything like that. it's a fantastic time to buy because I will never, ever, 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 ever refinance my home again. I'm pretty certain. So I'm investing into my rate. And that's why I was a little careful with rate because not everybody, that's the right decision. But I'm investing into everything. I'm investing into my rate, getting it as low as possible, getting my payment as low as possible because I'm never going to refinance ever again. And one of the reasons some people don't do that is because it's either money spent on rate now or later on in life, that's money that could be used towards refinancing. And since I know I'm never going to refinance, I'm using every last dollar to get my rate down, get my payment down, buy more home than I could afford. My rental property, I have one of my property is about to be finished. Everything is lining up and I'm pulling the trigger. So for all those out there who are saying, should I buy a home? Well, you have a mortgage expert staring at you kind of through a computer saying, yes, go buy a home.
That is awesome, Keelan. And yeah, it's definitely a shout out. If you have not already looked at options for possible refinance, take a look at the numbers. As Keelan mentioned, I mean, you can pay a little bit over a discount point and get a 2.875% interest rate. Again, as Keelan said, we're not quoting interest rates today because it all depends on qualifying factor. But and depending on how long you plan on keeping it, as Keelan mentioned, what you want to do is look at multiple options. So look at what it would be paying a discount point or maybe a little bit more, all the way to paying no closing costs. And the great thing is I'm actually founder and owner of Mortgage Triangle Software, which is software available for mortgage consultants. But the why behind it and the vision of creating it is so I could be the best mortgage consultant that I could in educating my clients. So you want to make sure that you're seeing where are you at today in your current amortization schedule, and where are you going to be a year, 5 years, or 10 years from now, depending on how long you're keeping the property on a refinance, whether you're paying points versus doing a no closing cost loan. And it's a really great report because you can see exactly which option you're going to pay more interest, where you're going to owe more at the end of that 5 or 10 years. And so numbers are everything. So Keelan, thanks for bringing that in, and really, really excited for you and Angela. The home is beautiful. I know it hasn't came through yet, and it's a little bit crazy with what's going on with the property, and it is definitely a crazy market out there. But Keelan, as we tell our clients, if a home doesn't work out, it means it's not their home. But it's a beautiful one. And I can see London running all around that. How many acres is it, Keelan? Or what is the acreage? Shouldn't say how many acres.
2.73, almost 3 acres. So I can let her in my backyard, not be too concerned about it. Besides maybe mountain lions and bears, I don't know about that.
Oh,
but, I definitely wouldn't let her loose in downtown Seattle. I'll tell you that much. So
yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll hope it all comes together. And I thought I'd talk a little bit about what's happening in the market. Could history be repeating itself? Besides the last few days, the stock market has been on a big move higher after a decline that we saw. But if we take a look at history, we could see a repeat. The 2008 financial crisis, 2000.com bubble, and the 1929 crash all had similar patterns. The stocks went down, reacted significantly, but then drastically went down again. So is history going to repeat itself? We don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, the Fed's house blues, want to talk a little bit about the Feds. There's a significant downside risk with the current environment that we're in, without a doubt. That's a given, right? Some highlights mentioned by Fed Chair Powell. Path ahead is highly uncertain. Sees significant downside risk, prolonged recession and possible weak recovery. Additional relief may be needed, and liquidity problems could turn into solvency problems. Pandemic raises longer-term concerns. So the Feds announced on Wednesday, and then today, the Bank of England, both markets comment. They don't see a negative interest rate policy, NIRP. So let's hope that they don't go there, because it's going to be very bad for the banking system. So hopefully they don't make a mistake and get us into a negative, because it's not going to be a good thing. Some good news for homeowners. The FHFA has given more clarity on homeowners that have gone into forbearance. And I've talked about this the last couple of money chats, because there's so much new information going on in this forbearance. And so we want to keep you as up to date as we possibly can. The forbearance, again, is a reminder, not meaning forgiven mortgage payments, but instead deferred mortgage payments. So at some point in time, you are going to have to pay that mortgage back or get the mortgage current. But through the CARES Act, lenders are forbidden to foreclose for 12 months if you fall under the CARES Act. Now, the clarification that's brought in, the amount if for forbearance can be added to the back of the loan. So this means that it's due in full at the end of your 360-month term, if that's the loan you went with, or 180 months if you're on a 15-year loan, or if you sell or refinance. Now, servicers still have the right to change the terms and when they want that due. So that's because the servicer owns the servicing of the mortgage, so they can do what they want. And not that they're trying to hurt the consumers, but remember, again, we've been talking a lot about the banking liquidity issue during Money Chat here on the Money Hour. But just remember, if they do decide to do that and make the funds due at the end of a forbearance instead of putting it onto the end of the back of the mortgage, they can't foreclose. So there's nothing they can do. So just a little bit of information there. But because of the FAIRS Act, the CARES Act, that's where the protection is coming for you as a homeowner. Now, just as we talked last time, you want to make sure that you're not strategically going into forbearance. Like a lot of people in the financial meltdown strategically decided to do loan modifications. It's not going to serve you at any level, definitely not at a high level when it comes to getting a mortgage, because all the credit stuff and how that's going to play out after the forbearance, that's still a big, huge question mark. And you're still going to have that 12 months without a mortgage payment if you went into 12 months forbearance. So all of this can be devastating to your credit. So you don't want to go into forbearance unless you have to actually use it. So that's what I have for you on Money Chat today. Coming up next in the Money Hour, maximizing your website and marketing dollars. Danielle Lafleur of East High Design, right here at 1150 AM KKNW. After the short break.
Are you frustrated that your website and marketing is not attracting your dream clients? Do you feel like you're just throwing good money after bad? Danielle of Easy as Pie Design has been there. Danielle and her team have created a results-driven solution to help you identify your core values that create a total brand alignment and marketing solution to help you attract your best clients. Danielle and her team at Easy as Pie Design have over 70 years of combined experience in IT and marketing technologies. Her team has PhDs in computer science and psychology, plus degrees in marketing, network engineering, graphic design, and more. Danielle has worked with National Geographic, Microsoft, Verizon Wireless, and other clients, and has received over 14 industry awards for streamlining businesses, saving clients money, and increasing their production levels.
Hi, I'm Danielle Lafleur. To get more information about how to align your brand and maximize your marketing so you attract the best clients, email me at hello@easyaspiedesign.com. Again, that's hello@easyaspiedesign.com.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
You are listening to the Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW, the Friday, May 15th virtual show. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
Because of the COVID-19, our show is temporarily moved virtually, but you can also listen in to us on the 1150 AM KKNW. The show airs at 3 o'clock on Saturday with a rebroadcast on Sunday, and you can also catch us on podcast. We are here to help you build a strong financial blueprint 1 week and one show at a time, and it's definitely a great day to talk about money, and that's what the show is all about, how to make money so you can have a better quality of life for you and your family. If you're listening to our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but we are definitely here to connect you with the guests that we have on the show. You can call the show at 1-855-400-1150 or go online at themoneyhour.com. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And now on our show, we have Danielle Lafleur of East as Pie Design, Easy as Pie Design, not so easy to say, maximizing your website marketing dollars right here at 1150 AM KKNW. Danielle, thank you so much for being here and welcome back to our show.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
So excited to have you. And look how pretty she looks on video. It's really fun. This is our third week here on Zoom and doing a Facebook Live. So a different dynamic for the show, but it's great for all of you to see how beautiful our guests are as well. A little bit about Danielle. Danielle has over 27 years in marketing, IT, and network design. development and training. She is the owner of Graylux Incorp, and she is the founder of Easy as Pie Design and creator of My Slice of Pie website design and marketing solutions. And obviously, she's good with branding because that's quite a brand for her business. As a certified Fix This Next coach, she understands the real needs small businesses have in creating both value online and in person with their clients. She is dedicated to creating successes for her team and for her clients. And today, the Money Hour segment, Danielle talks about maximizing your marketing during a recession. Just a couple ways to get a hold of Danielle. I want to put this out here. MySpaceOfPie.com, EasyAsPieDesign.com, and DanielleLafleur.com.
Yeah, sorry, Tina, I was fidgeting. It's because I have the sun came out and I have a white side of my face all of a sudden that I've never had before. So I was trying to adjust things. But Danielle, so last time you were on the show that we talked about website development and online marketing, and due to the sudden shift, obviously, with this whole COVID thing and our economy in turn, what's new and what's changed with you?
That is an excellent question. And, I get asked that often. And one of the things I want to always say is that, actually business doesn't change. Business is business, regardless if you're in a bull market or a bear market. And what you have to think about is pivoting what maybe your offers are and how you market it. But at the end of the day, clients still want value. Customers still want to be heard. They want to be understood. And they still have problems that need to be solved. So money is still there. You need to shift and pivot your business to be able to step up to the plate and answer that calling so you can hear and solve their problems. So it's really important to be very strategic about what you're doing in your business, in your marketing, and your sales, and your website and your whole branding to make sure that you are hitting the target that you need to hit, which is solving problems for your clients.
So Danielle, it sounds kind of simple, and but I know many people, money is really tight right now for a lot of industries. It seems like industries some are thriving and some are just trying to survive, and they may, say, well, gosh, kind of this sounds like a fluffy part of my business and feels like it might not be that important at this time when the reality is if you don't have business, you really need to focus at the highest level in investing on your marketing. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I think you just hit the nail on the head. And I think, what you said in that beginning statement, I talk with my hands by a lot, so this is going to be a fun video for you. So what you said was like, they feel like that's the thing is that we make so many decisions in our business based off what we feel and not what the data says, right? And, there have been many documentations that businesses go through, usually about a 5-stage process when a recession hits. Over the last 100 years, data has shown that when businesses start investing back into their marketing and back into their sales strategies during a recession, not only do they come out the other side strong, but they're actually 10 times more successful than companies that just survive a recession. So it's kind of the same strategy as buy low, sell high. It's the same thing. Like this is when most people are like pulling back, and it's your job and opportunity to actually push forward and really focus that dollar value the best that you can. And it's cheap. It's much cheaper right now to be able to do that as well.
I love that. That's
and really quickly, Keelan, before you... Oh, so sorry, Keelan. Before you go to the next question, I just wanted to make a comment on what Danielle had said, and I loved how you used the word opportunity because it's so true. This is such a huge opportunity and discounted because businesses, even like your businesses, they're making adjustments because of what things are going through to make it easier for people to come in and to sustain their own business and building clients. So yeah, it's so true. Now's the time to jump in and really invest in your business so that you can position yourself the best.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, Danielle, if I owned a business, I know what I do own a business, but I mean, I'm curious to know what my next, the next thing would be like. What is the appropriate amount? I have my own business model, but I'm curious to get your feedback. What is the appropriate amount to be spending on marketing?
Yeah. Because marketing is so confusing for so many people, and just spending any dollar value can kind of be confusing. So I go back to a percentage point, because $1 to me is not equal the same $1 for you, right? And so I say, when, most companies, when you start in the business, they're going to say that you're going to want to spend at least 40 to 70% of your OPEX on marketing when you first start out, because the main thing is that your sales is the gas for your company. And if you don't have sales, your business is dead. And to be able to really maximize your sales, you need to have your target market coming into you. So you really need to focus and be strategic about your marketing dollars when you first start a business. And the same rules apply within a recession. Now, if your business is established, you might not actually have to go up to 70%. Maybe you only need 20%. That's something that you talk about with a marketing expert to kind of get what that number is. But I would expect that you're going to have to increase whatever it is that you were doing in the previous year. You're going to have to put more back into it and start to think of your business as a startup again, in some capacity or not. But marketing, it's a big beast of any business. And so it can be really confusing. And I think a lot of people are kind of a little bit scared about those numbers. But we really, truly believe the most effective way to grow your business is to improve your marketing.
So Danielle, that it seems like it could be overwhelming to a business professional to take on such a big project, and especially in times that might be trying for them. What would you say to them for somebody that might say that?
It can be really, really overwhelming. And you mentioned earlier about My Slice of Pie. We actually just launched this product line about 3 months ago, right before this all hit. So we were working on this way before this even happened. So we streamlined our entire business to be able to help the small business niche specifically get up and running within 48 hours. So instead of people like wandering around and trying to figure everything out, we literally took best practices and simplified it as best that we possibly can to be able to execute for our clients. We really understand that money follows speed, and you cannot this is not a time to self-sabotage. This is a time to take action. And so we want to make sure that we are not a stopgate for you to take action and start bringing in income.
Wow.
Yeah, and so great, Danielle, stepping in at this time and doing something new for these new businesses opening.
Yeah.
48 hours is quick. That's pretty amazing. I mean, there's a lot of pieces there. So good on you for that quick turnaround time. That's insane. How do you guys manage that? How do you do that?
We, we're big on processes and streamlining. I know Tina's big on processes and streamlining and doing things one time. And so I got together with our team. Our team got together and we took over 70 plus years of technical experiences, marketing experiences. We have doctorates. We have very, high-end people working on my team. We came together and we went to the drawing board and just, what do we want? What do we need to create here? So we took the best practices. We took our best designs, our highest converting designs. We took the best marketing strategies that work for small businesses and solopreneurs, and we created packages that pick your solution. What do you want at the end of the game? Pick your solution and go. So that's what we did. I mean, it took a year. It took a long time for us to put this together, but great time for execution.
Yay, so exciting. So what was the why behind it, Danielle, and putting such a great offer and great program out there?
That's a good question. I'm going to keep saying it's a good question because, I mentioned a little bit earlier that we talked about, the 5 stages when businesses kind of go through that. And we knew that a recession was going to come at some point. So we knew this was coming down the pipeline statistically. And, they go through shock, which is the first stage. The second stage is usually to discount or offer, massive action that's kind of inappropriate, whether they're laying off people or taking out massive loans or whatever it is. Right? We want to be able to support our clients and get them down to that evaluate stage, which usually takes 2 to 4 weeks, and start looking at those data points and stop making emotional decisions, but make strategic, logic-based decisions on their marketing, on their sales. And that's what we're helping them through, because you want to get to that next stage, which is actionable, impactful action. And you want to make sure that every step that you're taking has an ROI at the other end of it. It needs needs to be very strategic and thoughtful. And so many times, so many businesses are just like throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping something hits. And we want to make sure that we are saving as many businesses that we possibly can to have a really strong financial future when at the other end of this. And another thing that I would love to say on this is that when you take strategic action, when you are focused on doing that, when you hit stage 5, which is that bust, when the economy switches, everybody else didn't do that. And you're the only person playing the game. And that's how you get that tenfold success at the other end. Your main job is to get through this section and be very smart with your money and very, very smart with your actions, because at the end of it, you're going to skyrocket.
That is awesome information there. We're actually, unfortunately, we're down to just a minute. So we blew by this, and you have so much good information for us. But I think the most important thing is, how do people get a hold of you? And is there anything that you want to leave to all our wonderful listeners?
You know, the easiest way to get in touch with me is to go to the website and hit book a consultation, or email me hello@easyasPie. Design works really good. Most people can find me on Insta, Facebook, whatever it is, but just pop me an email. Hello. That literally goes directly to me. So that's the best way to get in touch. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, Danielle, thank you. And I love, you want to be the only one playing the game. You already come out of this and imagine, and you want to be the one that's playing the game the strongest because you set your marketing up. Danielle, thank you so much for coming in the studio. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Coming up next in the Money Hour, financial plan for times like this. We have Tony Subhan of Ultimate Wealth Strategies, LLC, right here on 1150 AM KKNW.
Are you near retirement? Recently transferred to a new job and wondering what to do with your old 401k? Are you interested in learning about how to create a defensive and offensive strategy for your financial plan? Tony Subhan of Eagle Strategies can help you analyze your current financial plan, life insurance, and investments. Tony Subhan has helped hundreds of individuals, families, and business owners bring clarity to their financial plan.
This is Tony Subhan with Eagle Strategies. To learn more about my practice, call me at 425-586-0977 or reach me online at ultimatewealthstrategies.com. To receive a free consultation, call me at 425-586-0977 or reach me online at tonysubhan at eaglestrategies.com. Again, that's 425-586-0977. or reach me online at tonysubhan at eaglestrategies.com.
The following material is presented for informational and sales purposes only and represents our understanding of generally applicable rules. It is not intended and does not set forth solutions to individual situations. New York Life Insurance Company, its agents, or employees may not give legal, tax, or accounting advice, and none is intended nor should be inferred from the information herein. Clients should consult their own professional advisors prior to implementing any planning strategies. This material includes a discussion of one or more tax-related topics prepared to assist in the promotion or marketing of the transactions or matters addressed. It is not intended and cannot be used by any taxpayer for the purpose of avoiding any IRS penalties that may be imposed upon the taxpayer.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
You are listening to The Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW, the Friday, May 15th virtual show. Because of the COVID-19, our show is temporarily moved virtually, but you can also listen to us on 1150 AM KKNW at 3 o'clock on Saturday and a rebroadcast on Sunday at 8 a.m. You can also catch us on podcast. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I am your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
We are here to help you build a strong financial blueprint 1 week at a time. If you're hearing our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast. We're here to connect with the guests that we have on the show. You can call the show at 1-855-400-1150 or go online to themoneyhour.com. And now in studio, Tony Subhan of Ultimate Wealth Strategies, LLC, a financial plan for times like this is our conversation with Tony right here on 1150 AM KKNW. Tony, welcome back to our show.
Hi, Tina. Thanks for having me. It's been a while since I've been on the show, so I wasn't sure how you're going to pivot for, the radio. This is a great good option, I guess. The only option we have.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun, right? Well, we could be doing this without the video, but how fun would that be, right? Yeah. So a little bit about Tony. Tony is an advisor with New York Life. He is also the founder of Ultimate Wealth Strategies based in Bellevue, Washington, focusing on life insurance, investment, retirement, and estate planning for you, your family, or small businesses to identify your life goals and motivations. Tony has a vast team of specialists that will help you meet your goals. Not only does he enjoy helping people with their financial goals and dreams, he's passionate about his community through his involvement through areas of nonprofit. One of the unique things about Tony is that he is a mixed martial art coach at AMC in Kirkland and training alongside his current UFC champions, ONE FC champions, and other world-class fighters.
Tony, so awesome to have you here. Fellow Nightlife. I was with New York Life too back in the day, so I always love seeing your personal background. Is so interesting. Big MMA fan myself, so always awesome to have you here. What are you going to share with our audience today?
Thank you, Keelan. I'll be educating folks on building a financial plan for times like this. The impact of the coronavirus is unprecedented, and God bless those individuals and families that are dealing with the impact of the situation health-wise and financially. Tina and Keelan, you've heard me promote time and time again the virtues of a comprehensive plan, and it's unpredictable events like what we are experiencing that makes it even more important to focus on asset protection strategies. People work far too hard to accumulate wealth only to see it possibly disappear for circumstances beyond our control.
Tony.
Tony, what can people do?
We got a delay, folks. I'm sorry. It's so hard. Sometimes me and Tina just hop in there, and it's we just got to kind of stare at each other and figure it out. So, my bad. Your turn.
No, I'm gonna start looking at the chat button. I just see the chat right there. Comment. I'm gonna pay attention to that.
I did it on the last segment, so we're even. But I was just going to make a comment, Tony, on it's really interesting on times like these where people really finally start to think about the things that you preach. When we get into these troubling times and you really start evaluating your financial situation and the what ifs and, these things that would never, ever happen aren't going to happen to us. I mean, who would have thought we were sitting in a pandemic? And, that was probably the last thing I would ever think that would happen. And, for those that prepared, it's a nice pat on the back. And for those who haven't, I hope this is that realization where maybe it's time.
Yeah, I think it's
so true
to change how you think of your money. When times are good and people's confidence is at an all-time high, people tend to focus on spending and perhaps investing in risky investments. Oftentimes that spending and investing is played out over a shaky financial foundation, and that does not include income protection or life insurance. Therefore, the mind shift in the wake of the challenges we are dealing with needs to address the question: if I make this money and I get back on my feet, how can it be protected so that I have less restarts in life? Or each time you restart in life, because each time you restart in life, it takes time and money to get back to where you were, where if you had just done some very simple things, you'd be better positioned to withstand the storm that we're dealing with.
What about the income protection? Let's talk about that and the what most people don't know about life insurance.
Yeah, so we insure our cars, we insure our homes, we insure our cell phones, and we insure electronics, but rarely do we insure the income that bought those items, which means insuring the income you earn. And in a survey conducted by Ipsos, Americans reported on how much life insurance coverage they had and what they wanted it to cover in the event a family wage earner died prematurely. The results showed a significant shortfall in most cases. Americans are facing a 51% gap between the life insurance coverage they have compared with their self-reported needs. And, 2/3 of millennials say that having enough life insurance to protect their family is an important goal for them, but millennials with life insurance have only enough to cover 22% of their self-reported needs.
Wow, which I could see that could be very true. A lot of people undervalue life insurance, and it's so important. People go out there and insure your most valuable asset. That's you, the money you make for your family. So please, if you haven't figured that out, I mean, even a term policy is pretty darn cheap, and you could change your life, your family's life, if something unfortunately was to happen to you. We didn't think a pandemic was going to happen, and boom, here we are. So.
Oh, Keelan, you cut out. So you never know what's going to happen on a. Hey, Keelan, can you hear me? Okay, so this is just awesome, and this is really great. And this is if you're watching our Facebook Live show, or actually even better if you're listening to us on podcast and radio, you actually can't see anything that's happening right now. So this is life, and it's the fun thing about being on Zoom and being on video, and just go with it. Whatever it is, we're having a great time here, and technology is going to happen. Issues are going to come up, the wrong questions are going to come up, all kinds of great things. But put yourself out there, get live, which we are, and go with the flow. So while we're trying to figure out, Keelan, let me just jump into the next question here, Tony. So what do you see most when you're meeting with people right now?
So what I see most is that most professionals and business owners I meet are over concentrating their wealth in one asset class, and that could be either their job or business or their favorite stock. And rightfully so. When you work in your job, that is a 100% return on yourself, and when you reinvest in your business, it can potentially yield a higher return than any stock or other investment can produce. However, what this also means is that if you work for a company and you own that company's stock, then you're exposing yourself to risk with the company's stock. And if a potential job loss is on the loom, not only has your stock gone down, but also your salary has disappeared. So it'd be prudent to diversify some of your savings to uncorrelated investments or accounts so they can give you peace of mind for times like this.
I'm back, guys. I'm sorry. Your co-host has failed you miserably today. So I tried to swipe to his questions, and I know we have to stay on task with him because he's scripted, and I shut myself off. Who does that? So I knew something had to happen on these virtual meetings eventually, and I hope it wasn't me first. But my bad. I did not hear the last question that you left off. Yes, please.
Okay, perfect. So we left off with meeting folks. So Tony, what can people do to begin to think differently about their money?
So people need to think of their financial plan as something like a pyramid. We save and invest with the aim of building assets for the future so that there'll be funding for goals like buying a home or condo, paying off student loans, having a family. What many overlook is that the entire pyramid rests on a foundation, and that foundation is the money you earn, your income. So health is your wealth as well. So your ability to work or run your business and earn an income is what supports the rest of the things in your life. And, protecting that income is important. So seeking out information on income protection, investing in uncorrelated assets. Those are some of the things that lay the foundation for you to feel confident to invest more aggressively in either your favorite stock or investment or your business.
Makes a lot of sense. Tony, what happens after the income is protected and the right amount of life insurance is taken care of?
So once you have a solid foundation for your income and family, you'll have more confidence in investing in stocks, as I said earlier, bonds, or even real estate, because those are things that ebbs and flows with the market. I mean, Wells Fargo put out a big article saying they're not giving people loans on their own home, their own asset, right? So it is important to diversify your holdings because far too often, as I mentioned earlier, people are over-concentrated in their investment holdings because it is what they know and it's been working for them. I think it's safe to say that with this pandemic, everything has been affected, including real estate, both commercial and residentials are feeling the pinch. So, there are still places to put money where it's uncorrelated, and it's just a matter of having an open mind, if you will.
Yeah, great advice, Tony. Thank you so much for joining us on our Facebook Live radio/podcast show. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was fun. So.
That was awesome. Coming up next on the Money Hour, virtually moving, is that a thing? We have Lori Lamoureux of Seamless Moves right here at 1150 AM KKNW.
If you're interested in selling your home, but wondering how you can safely move during these challenging times, Seamless Moves is ready to help. Some of our most requested services are virtual appointments to assess your needs and give you moving tips and advice, virtual downsizing and planning appointments to put your mind at ease about your move, packing and unpacking assistance and advice, challenging moves, including those in which your belongings are being shipped to more than one place. Seamless Moves and their moving partners wear personal protective equipment and take great care to ensure your move is both on time and safe for you and your family.
Hi, this is Lori Lamoureux with Seamless Moves. With over 16 years experience helping families move in the Puget Sound area, Seamless Moves is the most trusted name in moving and move management. Our highly trained caring staff believes in treating your family like our family. Call us today at 425-746-1334 to schedule a complimentary consultation for your seamless move. That's 425-746-1334.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150.
And you are listening to The Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW, the Friday, May 15th virtual
Tina
show.
Mitchell
because of
and
COVID-19,
Keelan
our
Harvey.
show is temporarily moved virtually, but you can catch our show on podcast and on air Saturday at 3 p.m. with a rebroadcast on Sunday at 8 a.m. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I am your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
We bring in each week into studio when we're there, otherwise here virtually on Facebook Live, the best of the best experts in our local market on everything money. We're here to help you in today's economy. And now in studio, we have Lori. Lori, will you pronounce your last name? I feel terrible.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's hard. It's pronounced Lamoureux.
Lamoureux. That it's just hard to come. It's hard to come out of my mouth there. So Lamoureux. She is with Seamless Moves. Virtually moving is it that a thing? Right here at 1150 AM KKNW. So Lori, thank you so much for coming back in studio. It's fun to have everybody here today that's been in studio before. I keep saying coming back into studio, but we're actually obviously not in studio. But it's great to have everyone here that has been in studio before, but it's the first time that they've been on the show virtually. No exception, Lori. Happy to have you here as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tina.
And a little bit about Lori. Lori is founder of Seamless Moves, a moving service company serving the Seattle and Eastside areas since 2004. She was a Navy wife for years, and so she learned some good ways and some not so good ways to make short or long distance moves. Lori and her team are passionate about helping people feel less stress about moving by taking on many of the details so that their clients have a seamless transition to their new homes. For fun and relaxation, Lori and her family enjoy traveling, maybe not as much right now, playing golf, that might be on hold for a little bit, clam digging, cooking. Now, cooking and eating meals together as a family, I'm sure you're doing lots of extra of that, Lori, right now, yes?
Yes, absolutely. It's kind of fun, actually.
Yes.
I'd have more time now.
So, Lori, virtual moving, is that a thing? Is it a thing? Like, can you virtually move? How does that work?
Yeah, I know. A lot of people are very concerned because they are buying houses and they want to buy a house or they want to sell their house. Their big concerns is how in the world are we going to move out or move in? And actually, I'm here to tell you it can be done.
So with a stay home order, people are still able to move and you're able to assist with that process.
That's right. We checked with the state and we found that we are an essential business as long as people are under a contract. So if they've sold a house or bought a house, if they need to move to an assisted living, if unfortunately someone has passed away and they need to clear out the home and they help with that, we're allowed to help with all of those things.
So Lori, talk to us a little bit about how that has changed since COVID-19 for you.
So
is it safe?
Yeah, our crews and the mover guys that are really strong, and they pick up your sofa and they move them, and the guys come and pick up your trash if there's stuff left over when you're done. We're all wearing masks. We're all staying 6 feet away from each other and the clients, and we're wearing gloves sometimes if we need to or we want to, or we're doing all things that we can think of. We wash our hands a lot, and we use our hand sanitizer, and we do all the things that we can think of that will keep everyone safe during this time.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because when you're not in an industry like yours, Lori, like Keelan and I were literally sitting, I move around a little bit because my legs actually hurt from sitting for so long. So I have to get myself to stand up. But so and I'm not even going outside hardly at all. And the very few times that I have, just to see everybody all masked up, and it's just so crazy out there. But let's talk about the move managers and how they're helping.
Right. So if you don't know what a move manager is, we are the folks that we help you program the entire move. We're like a general contractor for your move. So if you were going to build a house, you'd have a general contractor, and they would figure out the person who's going to do your painting or your put the studs up in the wall or do your landscaping. We're the people that do that for moving. So move managers are like a general contractor. And so the nice thing about hiring a move manager is that you don't have to do everything yourself. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know who's the best mover, who's the best trash hauler, where's the best storage facility by my house. You don't have to know those things already before you start and think about how you're going to move. We can absolutely help with that. And we're pretty good at it.
Makes a lot of sense, Lori. If you hire out an expert, right? Why would you try to figure it out on your own on the fly when you have somebody like Lori you can do it? And that works for everything in life too. Find your best resources, find your experts, and let them do what they're good at. So, and I'm probably going to be thinking about this pretty soon. What could I be doing in advance to help myself if I'm thinking about a move?
Yeah. So the most important thing you can do to prepare for your move is to figure out what you're taking with you. And I know that sounds kind of obvious, but a lot of people put in their brain, what am I not taking with me? And especially for folks that are downsizing, and this probably doesn't apply to you, but for folks that are downsizing, they start thinking about all the things in their attic or their garage or their shed out and back, and they don't need to think about that if they're moving to a 2-bedroom apartment. What you need to think about is, what are you definitely moving with you, and literally walk through your home and put stickers on things that you want to take with you. And if you do that, especially now, it'd be helpful because the movers and our team won't be in your house for as long. And these are things that we can help with virtually as well. We can use Zoom or FaceTime or any program where we can see each other, and we can walk through your home with you, and you can show us an area of concern and say, I don't know what I should do with this stuff. I don't know if I should take it with me, or I definitely know I want to take all this with me. And so if you plan all these things ahead of time, and like I said, to even literally put stickers or Post-it notes or on the things that you want to take with you, then the movers and our team will be in your home for a shorter period of time, which will be more safe for everyone.
Yeah, and I love that tip of just do a Facebook Live with them or with you or your movers and show them around and what their concerns are. So Lori, let's talk about the things that they are going to move themselves.
So the things that are moving with you, move managers will come and pack up your things, or the things that you don't want to pack. You can pack things yourself, and you can get tips from your move manager on how to pack your things, where's the best place to buy the boxes and the tape and the paper. If you don't want to pack at all, I understand it's a big job. We'll pack things for you. Normally we come about a day or two before that moving truck comes and pack the things up and get ready. And then the moving truck comes and it takes your things over to your new place and unloads them and puts them where you want. And we can be there to help and make sure everything goes where you want it. And one of our most requested services is the unpacking after the move. Because we literally put the dishes away in the cupboards, make the beds, hang up the clothes. We can hang your pictures on the wall. We can make sure that someone comes to hang your TV on the wall. Whatever you need, the move managers can take care of for you.
Well, Lori, I'm not looking at moving like Keelan is, but if I was, I would have you pack everything and unpack everything.
Tina, you read my mind. I'm just thinking, I'm like, I can't wait to call Lori here pretty soon, because I think like if there's like hell on earth for me personally, I think it'd be moving for eternity. I don't know. It's just one of those tasks. That and painting for me, I think everybody's got their own. But I don't think I'm going to have this problem, but I've had this problem before. What if I'm looking to downsize, and that could maybe be involved with getting rid of some things? What's your advice on downsizing?
Yeah, so it's a little challenging right now because there are only a couple of places that are accepting donations, charity donations, like a Goodwill type of place. So we know where those are. In a more normal situation, we have options for people to donate to places where they can really use your stuff and you can feel good about giving it away. And then we know where the trash places are that are open, hazardous waste, you have paint, you have spray cans of WD-40 that you'll never use again. We know where to take all those different things. We're doing a project right now in Bellevue where the folks have already moved to the apartment, and everything else in their home that they lived in for 35 years, they just do not want. The adult kids are coming in and taking the things that they want. And it's just up to us to figure out how to get rid of the rest and make the home empty so that the real estate agent can have their painters come or their carpet cleaners or whatever is needed to go to the next level of selling the home.
So Lori, let's talk about, a lot of people are not sheltering in their own homes, but they've made a decision early in the process that they're going to stay with other parts of their family so that they can all shelter together. And right. Now they're in a position that they've decided to move. How do they do that when they're not even there?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm going to steal Danielle's line. That's a great question because we did have a client who they went to California on vacation and then they were not able to come back early in the shelter process. And we did everything by FaceTime. Literally walked around their condo with them and showed them, this picture, this bed, this dresser, where do you want all these different things to go? And that's another thing that move managers are really good for is when you have things that are going to more than one place, if you are sending things to another home that you own, if you have a summer home, if you need some things to go to storage, which is what we ended up doing in that case, is we put some things into storage and, all different places that you could be sending things. That's the kind of thing you want to have your move manager take care of so that you can focus on the things that you need to focus on.
Well, Lori, unfortunately, we only are down. It goes quick. We're down to a minute, but I thought this would be kind of the last thing to leave it here. And of course, I'll leave the forum open if you want to ask, leave anything else with our listeners. You're more than welcome. But I'm curious to know if because of all the constraints of COVID, has the cost of moving gone up?
I don't think the cost has gone up. I think the cost is either the same or possibly a little bit less because there are a lot of folks who are either working from home or not working at all. And so if they have a video conference with us and we give them some ideas on how to get their their initial parts of their move going by themselves, there's more that they can handle now that they weren't able to handle before. So I think that actually the cost might be slightly less right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good news for me.
Yeah. That's awesome news. Low interest rates, low moving costs.
Yeah.
Not too much of a discount on the home, but it's all good. Lori, thank you so much for coming into studio. And since this is different than normally with on radio, we're only thanking the last guest because nobody can see, everybody else is still in studio. So thank you, Tony. Thank you, Danielle. So thanks to everybody.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Keelan.
It was a great show. Thanks, Lori. I know it's kind of challenging with the Zoom video and who's chiming in there. Well, and that's it. That is our show. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I am your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
We are your local mortgage experts, and signing up for the day. Have a great rest of your week and the weekend. We look forward to talking more with money with you next weekend, right here on 1150 AM KKNW.
Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, and Keelan Harvey, MLO 1330075, are licensed loan originators with Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited, NMLS 134871. The views expressed by the speakers on the preceding program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited, nor are they necessarily endorsed by Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited.